Good morning, everyone. This is a video to kind of follow up on the last video because for some reason Google censored the last video stating that it's politics. I'm not trying to be in politics here. I just want to show the people the correct way. I want you to understand that a lot of the questions now is happening is our president Donald Trump is the Antichrist, or is Kushner is the Antichrist? The answer is no. None of those is the Antichrist. If you go to the book of Daniel, chapter 7, it tells you about the little horn, which that particular Antichrist, because we have two. One came in the past. His name is Antiochus Epiphanes IV. He was a bad king. He killed his family members to become a king. He conquered Israel. He went to conquer other armies. He couldn't. He was pissed off. Came, started slaughtering the Jews left and right. He committed abomination of desolation at that particular time. Of course, he killed the pig and put his blood everywhere. Forced the Jewish priest to eat it, and he was really a nasty person. But he was foreshadowing the one to come. Now, it's silly that people just see someone doing something and they start pointing fingers. The reason why this video is important is for you to understand and know that anybody can censor anything and delete anything. You can actually one day wake up and put the word God on Google search and you will not find it. One day, very soon, you will know that Bibles are illegal. You cannot have a Bible in your house. If you get caught with a Bible, you might go to prison or get killed. I mean, look in China. You are not allowed to practice Christianity. You can't have a Bible and talk about the Bible and talk about Jesus Christ and so on. Well, why it's different here? It can happen anywhere, right? Anyhow, Antichrist meaning a person that is not Christ, but he is against Christ, right? If that person becomes in control, why he wants you to know anything about Christ? Why he wants you to know anything about salvation? Of course, he's going to come in, interrupt all that information. So if you don't have the information and faith and believe in the correct word now, later on you might not find the word to believe in it or to read it. So you better have information inside your heart so your mind can remember it. Okay? All right. So why those two, or any of even the past, they used to point fingers at Clinton being the Antichrist because he was doing the peace treaty and trying to make peace between Israel and the Palestinians at that particular time. Two states live beside each other and so on. But there's entities here do not want peace. They want what they want. And we're talking about a little amount of the people from Israel and a little amount of people from Palestine not interested in peace. The majority wants peace. They want to live their life peacefully without any trouble. They don't want their kids to die. Nobody wants his kids to die. Okay, and a lot of us we say, hey, look at these Palestinians. They're talking so bad about the Jews. You cannot count an angry man or an angry person. Their word, you can't count them against them. If somebody lost a kid, what do you expect? Does it matter why he lost a kid? He lost a kid. He lost a father. He lost a mother. They're going to say bad things. And from Israel, the same thing. God help both nations. Those lost and those lost. Okay? So, if we want to know who is the Antichrist, well, better read the Bible instead of start guessing, right? So the Antichrist will not know he's the Antichrist until he gets the revelation onto doing certain things. He will be a puppet of the devil. Okay? He's not gonna be like the creator of, the bad idea on being an Antichrist. No. He will be a puppet. He will get uh, all the revelation from the devil, and he'll be working for the devil. Now, if you go back to the book of Daniel, you will know that the king had a dream. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. He dreamt about a head of gold, chest of silver, thighs of bronze, and legs of steel, and toes, basically iron, and toes of iron mixed with clay. Now, your toes is 10. Each toe is a kingdom. That's later on in the future. Now, if you jump to the book of Revelation, it says, the angel told John that about the kingdoms that has passed, which is 5 kingdoms has passed, and kingdom that have power that it is, and the kingdom to come, which is the kingdom that it is. Basically, the 7th kingdom is actually the 6th kingdom. Okay, now we're talking about 7 kingdoms. But in the book of Daniel, we're talking about a statue that have 4 kingdoms. Where all these 7 kingdoms come from? Okay, before, the head of gold was the Babylonians. The chest of silver was the Persians and Medes, is a mixed army. The thighs of bronze was the Greek, and then the iron was the Roman Empire. But before those was 2 empires, was the Egyptian Empire and the Assyrian Empire. So the Egyptian Empire, of course, you guys know the story of Jacob, and Joseph goes there, and then the Jews went to Egypt and stayed there, and they became slaves. Any empire that have control over the Jews was mentioned to be an empire. It was a lot of empires, but those are the ones that's important for God and for us to understand, So you have 6 empires. The 6th empire, at the time of the life of John, the angel mentioned that the 6th is in power at that time, 2,000 years ago. And that empire will die, and the 7th empire will come, and it will be the 6th. Meaning, it's going to be a Roman Empire revived, meaning that it will be born again. But it will be born in a certain way. 10 toes, meaning 10 kingdoms. Mix iron with clay, meaning it's going to be some of them strong kingdoms, and some of them is going to be weak kingdoms. But they're going to be together, okay, in one. The Antichrist will come out of a city of the 7 hills. 7 hills, a city known, which is Rome. So, yes, where the Antichrist is going to come, it's very simple. If an Antichrist is going to come and make a peace treaty between Israel and the Arabs, he have to be an Arab. He cannot be a Jew, because you have 2 people at the time of the end. The Antichrist, which is a politician, and then you're going to have a religious person. So 2, So he's going to be a religious prophet that is no good. And you're going to have a politician. You're going to have religion and politics mixed together. 2 different people. So the Antichrist will be a person that have influence on the Muslim countries. How he's going to make peace, how a Jewish person or a Christian person is going to have influence from a religion standpoint on the Muslims. He have to be a Muslim. He have to. And that person is not Kushner and is not Donald Trump. They both have two different religions. One is a Jew and one is a Christian. Okay? So none of those is the Antichrist, to answer your question. Okay? So that Antichrist is going to come in and make a peace treaty between Israel and the nations around it. Okay? And that would be including all the nations around Israel, and ones that's very strong and some of them very weak, but they are important. I mean, Assyria was a very strong empire a long time ago. And now it's very weak. That's nothing. Okay? So basically, if Assyria joined these 10 kingdoms, it will be the clay, right? If Lebanon joined these 10 toes, it will also be a clay. Now, if Saudi Arabia join, they will be an iron because they're very powerful financially, right? So you understand it's going to be a mix between powerful and weak, but needed. Why? Because they are around Israel and they're causing threat to Israel, right? So now the Bible is very clear. What I want you to understand, something that you can build your belief on, and of course read, so you can read from the Bible directly, so you can understand what might happen in the future in case your faith is not strong enough and you're not ready and a rapture happen and you're still here and these things happen, then you know that you are in tribulation and the Antichrist is working. So you're going to see the Antichrist in your eyes. I really hope that you don't have to experience the issues that's going to happen at the time tribulation. Okay? So, main point, Antichrist will be a Muslim. He will rule from the seven hills, which is the city of Rome. The Bible is clear. It will be 10 nations, 10 kingdoms joined together, but he will cancel 3 and 7 will stay. Okay? The Bible is very clear about that. These things happen, and the temple getting built, because it have to be built at the beginning of the tribulation. From that day that the temple getting built, you can count 7 years to the coming of Christ, the second coming of Christ. Okay? Very simple. So if you stay because your faith is not correct and not strong enough, and these things happen, you're going to experience hardship. You need to know that you have to go through the hardship. You have to believe that you have to give your life in the name of Jesus Christ, because you are going to get killed. You're going to get murdered. And you have to accept that fact. You don't want to go through that? You better get your faith straight. Believe that Christ is the only way to go to heaven. His blood is the only way that your sins can be wiped out, clear. Simple. So I hope you understand. Of course, if you have questions or you believe something else, comment and let me know. There is no question too small or too big. I will answer all, even if I have to speak with you one-on-one to explain certain things. I cannot get in detail in every little thing right now because I don't want the video to be like 3 hours, but please subscribe and click like so we can get this video to everyone. I am from Israel. I speak Hebrew and Arabic, and I have information because I lived there. I know the people, I know how they think, and I read the Bible in Hebrew and Arabic, and I understand a little bit different than others. But if you have questions and you want something to be clear more, let me know. My English is not very good, but my other language is much better. Peace upon everybody, and take care, and see you in next video.